Hey everyone, so today I wanted to just do a tutorial on how I am using Jamboards with book clubs or small groups and show you how I set up my Jamboards, how I add to them each day in order for my book clubs to utilize them while we are under the hybrid model. So just a little bit of background, I teach under a hybrid model. Some call it high flex. I have students in front of me, and then I also have students that live stream in that are on their off cohort days or are fully distant learners. So I always have all my students with me in some way, shape, or form, whether it's physically in front of me or on the screen. So when I was starting to think about book clubs, I couldn't do the traditional club where the students that were physically in front of me were reading the same book because I do have a vast amount of levels within my classes. So I decided to have students from both all three cohorts A, B, and D, as well as both of the sections of reading that I teach kind of mixed within clubs. And this then created a problem for me on how they would collaborate, and that is where Jamboards has come in. So I'm going to show you from the beginning how I create the Jamboards for each group and then what we utilize them for. So when you are in your Google Drive, you're going to go ahead and click New, More, and Google Jamboard. And that's going to bring you to the Jamboard area. When you open up the Jamboard, it looks a lot like Google Slides, but it is way more limited, which is good and bad at the same time. So one thing you can do is you can change the background, but you can't make the background something you import. They have dots, lines, a white grid, a gray grid, blue, and black. And you can set it however you want. I do change the background for each day. Then I changed the jam to the name of the book. So I'm just going to put Home of the Brave because that is our shared reading. Then all you do is add things on here for your students. So for example, this week we are going to be starting on, what's the name of this one? Reading on with our interpretations in mind. I believe I'm just going through my slides. And I want students to have this anchor chart to kind of guide their discussions. So what I'm going to do is just copy that, and you could take a screenshot or anything like that, and then I'm going to paste it in. If it is something that you took a screenshot of, you could go right down here to the 1, 2, 3, 4th, 5th icon, and you can upload anything that you might have. So maybe I'm having them work on, I think this was revising. So you could insert this and put it in wherever you wanted. From there, I send this out to my students. So I clicked share, and then I just started typing in their names right here. I'll just type in some of my colleagues' names. And I made that so that they were the editors. And that made it so that only those group members could get into the Jamboard. And that was it. I then talked to them about adding sticky notes. Oops. Move this over. My Loom controls are right there. So they add a sticky note using whatever prompts. So they might say, Keck and Gonwar's conversation about hope, and then maybe they would say, is really important because, oh my goodness, I can't type today. It shows the reader how different they are. Keck holds on to hope fiercely, and Gonwar has lost it. And then I do ask them to put their name on the sticky note, and they can choose whatever color that they want. Then, if one of the other group members wants to respond to this, I have taught them to change the color of the sticky note. So if they're responding to a sticky note that's in green, go ahead and change the color. And they might say, I agree with this because, or it is just like, and whatever. And then they also put their name. And they put it kind of right near it. And they just do this each day. I always, as well, will put the date up in the corner so that we know what day it is that we worked on this. And then when it is the next day and I look at my mini lesson and what I want them to work on, all I do is add another slide. So if I go back over and I look at what we were doing on the next day, on Wednesdays they are fully asynchronous. We're working on 2 texts, 1 theme, and I see that I really want them to use this chart on comparing 2 texts. So again, I would copy it or screenshot it or whatever you're going to do. I like to change my background each day, and then I put it in. After you have shared it with the students once, you do not need to reshare it with them. They can access it by going into their drive. I have my students access it by going right here and clicking on their Jamboard. And that is basically how I am using Jamboards. I also can easily access all of my group's Jamboards because I put them in a bookmark folder. So then I can right click that folder and I can open all of them at once. You can see they're populating up here so that I can quickly look through what they're doing. I can quickly add slides. It takes me maybe 3 minutes to get all the slides set up for that day, and I found it to be quite powerful. So if you have any other questions about how to use Jamboards within your clubs, within your classroom, with your virtual learners, your in-class learners, do let me know. I will tell you it took a lot of us explaining how to properly use it, not touch each other's sticky notes, don't delete things and whatnot, and really just setting clear expectations for the students that these will be checked and they are being used to build their collaboration. Like I said, I've seen awesome results. Let me know if you have any questions.